I'm first in line at Mr. Beastland. Thank you. I'm the first into Beastland. I even found Dream at the MrBeast Festival.
How's it going?
Yes! Nice to meet you, man.
Massive announcement. I'm opening a theme park in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia on November 13th. People ask me all the time, MrBeast, I want to compete in one of your videos. Well, now you can. This theme park is filled with some of the craziest challenges and most insane prizes we have ever given away. Like all theme parks, we have roller coasters, we have drop towers, we have all that usual stuff. But in Beastland, we also have custom-made games that are inspired off our YouTube channel. This theme park is going to blow your mind, and tickets literally just went live. Beastland opens on November 13th as part of Riyadh season. You can book your tickets through WeBook. Guys, this is going to be awesome. I'll be there opening day. Make sure you buy your tickets.
So here we go again. MrBeast is getting blasted all over the internet once more, and nobody is shocked by it. Over the past few months, he's been dropping new products non-stop, almost like he's trying to build an empire overnight. First, it was Feast Bowls, then that Lunch Lee thing, then a toy brand that barely anyone has actually seen in real life. And now he pops out with Beastland, an entire amusement park themed around himself, sitting out in Saudi Arabia of all places.
Qatar still uses the kafala system. Essentially, this gives their employer control over their lives. They can take away their passport if they want to leave the country, forcing them to work in poor conditions and on a low wage. That low wage works out at about $275 per month. The Guardian reported that 6,500 migrants have died in Qatar since they won the bid for the World Cup in 2010. Whilst they are not all related to the World Cup, most of them were only there to build the infrastructure for it.
Right away, people started asking why he would plant a whole theme park in a country where most of his supporters can't even visit. His fan base is mostly in the US, so the move had people scratching their heads like something wasn't adding up. Even the park itself caught heat. Folks said it looked more like one of those pop-up state fairs than a real massive amusement park, which only made the whole thing look even more suspicious.
Can you win prizes in here?
Yes.
I'm the first one with a wristband. Let's go through the beast.
Hey guys, nice to meet all of you.
I'm never washing his hand.
Hey, go right on the ride.
We'll receive what is behind this golden bowl.
So the question became, why Saudi Arabia? The answer most people landed on was simple: money. Beastland reportedly cost around $85 million to launch, which sounds huge, but for an amusement park it's actually not that wild. And that low price tag starts making sense when you look at where it was built. If MrBeast had tried to build this park in the US, that number would have shot through the roof. But setting it up in Saudi Arabia sliced the cost nearly in half. And because of that major discount, MrBeast ended up paying a completely different kind of price in the court of public opinion. People started clowning the project everywhere, calling it cheap, rushed, and something that didn't match his usual big budget vibe at all. And then we get videos of people pulling up like, "Hey, come ride the rides. What is behind this bull?"
Today we're at Beastland by MrBeast here in Riyadh and it's opening day, so come with us and check out what there is to do inside. Let's go. We're now inside Beastland and it looks absolutely incredible, and we've noticed that there is a countdown over here for some reason, so they're saying get to the stage. We need to go. We need to find out what's going on. There's a little meet and greet area over here. We don't actually recognise anyone yet though.
Something massive is waking up at Beastland. And you know, you got the wristband, and when you play the games,
the barriers are open and we're following everyone. I don't know where to, but somewhere. So there's all the money. I can't remember what the top prize was, but there's about 300,000 riyals in one of these. So we headed through to the Beast Arena and there was so many different games that you could take part in. This one I was definitely not giving a go, the bungee jumping, but it was so much fun and you can buy a wristband with all the games included. Or if you simply just want to enter and enjoy Beastland in the whole experience, then it's only 25 SAR per person. They had so many merch shops around with all of the Feastables and limited edition merch, which was actually very affordable. As well as all the games that are inside Beast Arena, which are inspired by the show, there was also carnival games, rides, and so many food stalls. It was so much fun and just being here was such a good vibe. I definitely recommend checking it out before it ends in 45 days.
Just roasting the place without mercy. The whole situation turned into a storm real fast, and this is only the beginning. Even though opening day looked decent on the surface, the good vibes didn't last, not even for 24 hours. The very next day, people were posting that the place was basically empty, and photos started spreading everywhere showing the park in broad daylight. And it legit looked like a carnival dropped right in the middle of the desert. Folks online saw those pictures and instantly started tearing the whole project apart, making the backlash hit even harder. People were saying straight up, "All that labor looks like trash," and the comments got even uglier once the conversation shifted to Saudi Arabia's track record with working conditions. It's no secret the country has a history of workers being pushed for 12+ hours, barely getting proper breaks, and receiving limited food and water. Situations so harsh that some people have even ended up passing away on the job.
I'm first in line at MrBeastland. Thank you. I'm the first into Beastland. Can you win prizes in here?
Yes.
I'm the first one with a wristband. Let's go through the beast. Here's the map of Beastland. Let's go find the prizes. There's 3 vaults here, gold, bronze, and silver. A crowd is forming in front of the 3 safes. The teleprompter says Chandler and MrBeast are gonna be here.
Hey guys, nice to meet all of
Remember
you.
washing his hand.
Hey, go ride on the rides. Don't hang out.
He's walking around the park and chaos is following wherever he goes. I even found Dream at the MrBeast Festival.
How's it going?
Yes! Nice to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Let's go into the MrBeast store. Beastland hoodies, 3 different Beast Lab toys, Beastland backpacks. Can I buy a Beastland hat?
That's not just rumors either. Real workers have openly talked about the trauma they left with from those jobs. Roll the news clip. What makes everything hit even harder is that MrBeast still chose Saudi Arabia as the location for his big park despite the country's well-known issues, late payments, mistreatment of workers, and all types of questionable practices. On paper, expanding globally makes sense. It shows he's trying to take his brand beyond the United States and connect with other parts of the world, proving his reach isn't limited to American audiences, but the way he went about it?
MrBeast supporting the Saudi economy is absolutely insane to me. I saw that content creators are getting paid to go to MrBeastland and like film stuff. It shouldn't be allowed to be called an amusement park because there are absolutely no rides there. I lived by an amusement park growing up that had less than an acre of land and it had more roller coasters than MrBeastland. The attractions are like mazes and like puzzles and like games, and allegedly that's not even included with your ticket. You pay to get in, and that doesn't give you like automatic access to any of the attractions. Not to mention that this whole thing was put together in a few days and is only supposed to last a few days. And again, it's in Saudi Arabia, and Saudi Arabia is not really known to have the most ethical working practices, which means there's a great possibility that MrBeast is allegedly using slave labor to set up, facilitate, and tear down this amusement park.
That's where the problem comes in. Because instead of looking like a global business move, it ended up giving off the impression that he was chasing cheap labor, cheap land, and a cheaper price tag, and the internet did not let that slide for a second. Even if MrBeast had good intentions, the execution made him look way worse in the end, especially when people started comparing the park to a desert fairground thrown together overnight. Now, to be fair, there's no clear proof that the construction workers at Beastland went through those exact same conditions, but the fact that people even think that could have happened shows how messy this whole situation looks. We can guess the conditions were at least somewhat similar, but even putting all that aside, it's still wild that he chose to build a whole theme park in a place where rough working environments are so common. MrBeast kept saying that his goal was to connect with his growing international fan base, especially in the Middle East. According to a report from Dexter, he explained, "It's in the middle of the world because majority of my audience is outside America, and we have a big Middle Eastern fan base. We want to give them the chance to participate."
MrBeast launches world's first YouTuber theme park in oil and blood-drenched Saudi Arabia's latest desperate tourism push. Damn. You know, definitely a choice for MrBeast to be like, cool thing is that I made a theme park, okay? Not, and it doesn't matter where it is. It definitely doesn't matter if the place that it was in had like a crazy history of like violating human rights. That doesn't matter at all, actually. The only thing that does matter is I'm getting a fucking check. You know, other people in Saudi Arabia get the bag over their head and fucking, you know, for like being gay. But again, are we shocked? MrBeast will do anything for a bag. And in every single interview, oh, I have no money, dude. I have no money, dude. My videos cost so much money, dude. I have to do this stuff. I had to open the theme park in Saudi Arabia. I had to.
Boniface Barasa is back in Kenya, but says he's still suffering from trauma after 3 years as a construction worker in Qatar before the World Cup.
I saw those profiles are called another Kenyan less black monkey. Then when the Kenyan countered back. He asked him, "Why are you calling me black monkey?" Then the supervisor slapped the Kenyan.
The 38-year-old is a lifelong football fan, but says he hasn't watched any matches. The pain is still too fresh.
Kungangana, another one died on that harsh weather condition. One, my colleague died. Another one was beaten and he went missing.
You saw somebody die in front of you?
Yeah, somebody collapsed and died, and I think that was because of the harsh weather condition.
Now sure, that logic adds up from his point of view, but honestly, it's hard not to see the business angle behind it. In that same article, it was mentioned that Saudi Arabia is currently pushing hard to build more tourist attractions to pull in outside money and boost opportunities for their people. So it wouldn't be shocking at all if someone in Saudi Arabia reached out and asked him to partner up on Beastland to help support their long-term plan. And if we're keeping it real, it wouldn't be surprising if they covered a huge chunk, maybe even all, of the setup costs. The whole thing feels like a massive collab that benefits both sides financially. Now, just to be clear, all of this is alleged, nothing confirmed, but the signs do make the theory feel pretty believable. And I'm clearly not the only one thinking like this. Other creators have been talking about the same idea in their own videos too. And here's the part a lot of people don't even realize. This amusement park isn't a permanent thing at all. It's only supposed to run for about 45 days, and once that time is up, they're literally tearing the entire place down. That's what makes everything look even stranger. Like this whole project was never meant to be a real long-term amusement park, but more like a temporary showcase with a massive price tag attached. Which honestly might be a blessing, considering all the backlash flying around and how low those ticket sales are looking right now. People are already wondering if the park can even survive the full 45 days without shutting down early, and that alone says everything.
When we were talking about MrBeast controversies, it's like, in a certain sense, now that he's had them, they know that it doesn't really matter anymore. Like, of course, there are still worse things he could do. I think there are things that he could do that would, like, break down the empire, but I do think that these companies and these brands have realized over the past, like, 5 years in particular, that the longevity of the influencer does not depend on how bad the controversy gets. Like, I imagine that the lesson from Logan Paul, for example, was like, oh yeah, at a certain point after the Suicide Forest video, it seemed like Logan would never make money again. But the reality is that he makes exponentially more money now than he did before, during, or after that controversy. So it's like, in a weird way, I think that the brands almost push the creators more than the audience even pushes the creator.
I think cancellation in general when it comes to these style of influencers is now a myth. I don't think an influencer outside of an extreme grooming or sexual assault scandal can't bump back from any sort of controversy at this point. You know, Trisha Paytas is doing better than she's ever done before. Jeffree Star is still thriving.
Dr. Disrespect still exists.
Oh, Guy Beam is he's doing photo shoots and thriving with his weird audience. Because you can't be really canceled anymore because you find all it takes is a weird niche audience that can fund your content for a really long time. You don't really need to go mainstream. You know, the Guy Beam, I'm not calling him the Doc, I refuse, is never going to hit that same level that he hit in the, pre-2020 TwitchCon era. He's now sort of cemented himself as an anti-cancel culture warrior. And the audience that's fallen for it is willing to give him enough that he can survive. Influencers don't need to be for everyone anymore. They can just sort of find their micro niche and thrive in a way that really didn't work just 5 years ago.
But anyway, tell me what you think about this whole situation, because it's still a wild one. I know I'm pulling up to the topic a little late, but so many creators have dropped their own videos and folks are still debating it nonstop, so I had to tap in and give my own take. I've been talking with a bunch of other creators about it too, and trust me, there's a lot to unpack with all of this. Also, if you haven't seen it yet, I made a full movie-style breakdown about Jack Doherty, going from being one of the most hated creators online to ending up literally getting arrested by police. If you want to watch that crazy story, just click the video popping up on screen. It helps the channel a lot, and it only takes a couple seconds to show some love. And of course, make sure you comment, like, subscribe to the BeyondFame channel, share the video, and I'll see you on the next one.